Hey there, happy Wednesday, it's me Victor. Gonna do a quick video recap of the week so far. Hopefully everyone's having a great trading week. Again, all these are just mainly geared towards those who are learning something within the markets. Alright, but today's really gonna be talking about risk management and understanding that you don't have to trade every day. Okay, remember that 3 out of 4 stocks follow the overall market. Like any other business in the world, the market's not gonna go nowhere. It's gonna be open every day, and your job as a trader is to realize that sometimes the best trade is no trade. And it's kind of hard to hear that. It sounds counterintuitive. You know, you think that you want to do more, but actually doing more sometimes leads to bad results. And right now we're kind of in a pullback roughly, and sometimes whenever you have a pullback like we're in right now, sometimes the best thing to do is simply just step away. You know, enjoy life, live life, learn, study something else. Build upon your trading watch list. Look at the past, study recaps, read books. And that doesn't mean that there's no plays available. There is. Like I mentioned yesterday, I was talking about PRCH. Great one so far. As I mentioned, this is pretty much an EP. I loved how it consolidated today. It's pretty much in a range. It's a range day today. Nothing wrong with that. It's in a range. You know, it had a beautiful range day today. Ideally, again, the overall market's not doing well, but the fact that this held its bases is a good sign of strength in my opinion. So going forward towards tomorrow, ideally I'm looking for a break of this $7 area. I am still long from this entry right here, so there's no reason for me to sell. It's about being patient with these setups. Okay, so ideally more continuation. As I mentioned, with these EPs, it's really much the same exact pattern, like on Root today. Root was a 5-star setup off earnings, a gap, and somewhat faded, but this is going to be on a watch list for the rest of the week because, again, as I mentioned in the episodic pivot, you always want to study the past. As I mentioned, this was last year's EP galore, one of them. From earnings, you know, from the freaking... What percentage increase is that? From 13% to the high of 81%? That is a large percent increase of what is that? I'm curious what that is. I don't know what was that of. I think from the day the lows, what was that? 74% from the high, I think. Well, I don't know. Point is, this was an absolute beauty, back in the day. So this is pretty much what I'm looking for. I'm not saying this is gonna go have that same type of run we had back here. It's not what I'm saying at all. It's just, again, as I mentioned, past performance. Look at the past runners, look at what they've done before, and yeah, it had a gap prior and it somewhat faded, but it had a range break there and somewhat out of the 10-day and 20 there. So right now I'm watching this one because of that one factor. Had a gap, and number 2, the short interest is extremely high on this. I always say use Finviz. Finviz is a great platform to use. Others as well, but the short interest is really high, 22%. The float is short, so that's for sure going to be on watch list for the upcoming week. And again, the markets, as I mentioned already, are somewhat in a retracement, but that's fine. You have to put that into factors. Always consider that 3 out of 4 stocks follow the overall market. Know that sometimes setups they're not going to work whenever we have this market condition, and that's perfectly fine. As I mentioned, sometimes you just have to take a step away. But I'm still watching Root. I'm still long PRCH. Ideally continuation. My Wi-Fi not loading now? Why is that? Hold up, 1 second. Sorry about that. As I was mentioning, yes, I'm long PRCH for that EP continuation. Ideally, as I mentioned, have a nice range break out of the 7 area. If not, let it be in this range. It's in a range. Sometimes stocks are going to be in a range. That's perfectly fine. And you just have to raise your stop as you go along. So I'm trailing the 10-day. Ideally, if this holds above 650, ideally 620, that's perfectly fine. Just let it do its thing, okay? But Root, as I mentioned earlier, more continuation, upside over 130, break on that. Just let it do its thing. Some more sideways, the better. As we mentioned back here, I think it had a couple of days last year. Yeah, pretty much. Let me see if I can show you some setups on this one. Well, pretty much the exact same thing. You know, you want it to go sideways, just like you have right here. You know, in a sense, and it's somewhat right there, but it failed. But that's pretty much the same type of deal. Another one I'm watching is Lemonade, LMND. Now this one is pretty much the exact same type of pattern last year. EP, as I mentioned again, most of these have a red day, exact thing, red day, exact thing, the exact thing right there, range break. And this is really what you want. This is the basic premise of this all. You want a stock to go up, go sideways with some consolidation, then a range break. Boom. Okay? Same type of deal. And the reason I'm watching this one was a reaction of earnings that we had this past week. And I just love how it's holding the, I love how it's basing. I love how it's basing at the 10-day. As you can see right here. I love how it's basing. So I'm just watching that one. Along with the fact that the short interest on this one as well, not iTunes, the short interest as well on this one is extremely high as well, 32%. So again, that's pretty much more buying pressure. I'm not saying this doesn't go over 40. No, I'm just saying that you want to always understand what you're trading. So it's really what I'm watching, and I love how it's coming out of this nice range. So if it does go over that range of really $40, then I'm going to potentially watch that one. Other than that, there's really nothing that much on scan. Gorilla Technology is one of them I'm watching. I'm liking how it's setting up on this 10-day. Recent runner, AI theme, I do believe. And yeah, I'm watching this one. It's more of a speculative type idea. An ADR is 16%. I don't believe there's no news on this at all. Yeah, but it's just one of those stocks I'm watching over $26. But other than that, that's really all I'm watching. If you have anything else, just leave it on scan. Again, sometimes you're not going to be able to trade all these. Just have price alerts, okay? And I just want you to understand, sometimes the best thing to do is to do nothing. And I know it's hard. I know you don't want to hear that. I know you want to be able to trade every day. But sometimes the best traders out there, you have to know when to stay out. You have to know when to come in a sense. Sorry about that. But as I was saying, sometimes the best thing to do is to do nothing. And I've been doing this for 7 years, okay? And I understand there's people that come and go. They overtrade. And overtrading will kill your account size more than anything in the entire world, okay? Stop trying to force things that are not there. Stop trying to make it all happen at once. Don't do that, okay? The best thing for me, honestly, is whenever we have this market pullback, I love it. Because I get to go away, take a break from the screens, and enjoy life. And that's what you should do. Enjoy life. Okay? But just a short video lesson for y'all today. Again, main ones I'm watching is Root, range expansion over 130, Lemonade expansion over $40. As well, I'm still in PRCH. Ideally trailing the 10-day 640s, 650s area. I'm looking for that range break over $7. If it works, it doesn't. If not, oh well, big deal, move on. And as long as, you know, I'm still watching any micro runners that run intraday scans, but it's just, that's really, whenever you have a market like this, most of them all fail, okay? But other than that, stay safe out there. And again, remember guys, you don't have to trade every day, okay? Focus on setups, set your scans, and if you don't see nothing that fits your criteria, turn the computer off. Go enjoy life. Go away, okay? I would much rather you walk away than to lose money in an environment where you're not favored to win, okay? But I love you all, and I will see y'all next time.